Okay, I'm need a little bit of time to get this all set up, and I'll be right with everyone. I am getting my side chat located, and then I will be ready to start this. Well, here I go again, having the same kind of problems, but I think I got it made now. Yeah, I got my side chat up, so I think we're good to go. Well, I hope so anyway. Last week, we discussed some of the items that I thought were good things to carry with you, whether they were for camping or for home. And I just want your opinions, what you think of it. Did you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? And I have a feeling some people are probably over on my other channel trying to figure out where to go. And that's quite okay. We all know things like that happen. And, you know I had some people say that they enjoyed particularly the Lucy light. And that was the thing that I enjoyed the most too. I mean, I just think that's a terrific item to have. And it is good for home and when you're out camping. Or I even take things along with me when I am on the cruise ship. I guess I'm paranoid. What can I say? Doesn't, unless I'm not seeing this correctly, it doesn't look like we have people in here. But maybe they don't know to come here, although I left a note where they should come. So I'm hoping that they catch up with us before I start what I want to talk about. Ah, Chamo, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I guess you want to really hear about how to make a budget, right? It's kind of a hard thing to start, but once you get started on it, it's it will really help you in paying your bills and knowing if there's things you can go out and buy and afford. So, Chamo, did you do your budget? Write down things, like your house, your car payments, telephone payments, taxes. Oh, you're cooking and listening. Oh, okay, well, that makes it a little bit more difficult to write things down. So is it okay if we wait a little bit, about 5 more minutes, and see if people come in? And then I'll go ahead with my schedule. The scheduled program. I had fun in here last week. I'm hoping that we can have fun in here again this week, and that we get more people in, because I'd like to see more people in here, because I think this is something a lot of people need. Well, I'll take it to 7:10 and then I'll start. I finally got it running on this Where the Road Leads channel, which is where it should be. And I did it at about 4 o'clock this morning. I went in, did the Van Adventures channel. It worked fine. And I was like, what the heck am I doing that I'm not doing on Where the Road Leads? So I went to the road Where the Road Leads, went through the whole thing, looked at every block that was checked. And here I had 2 blocks that I checked that shouldn't have been checked. So it was, when I unchecked them, it worked just fine. Now, just the way I had been taught, and just the way it worked on my other channel. Chamo, we paid ours off in, I believe, 6 years. And that was our goal. Yes, and us too. Every cent we had, we put into the house. And my father kind of disagreed with that. But we said, well, if we get the house paid off, nobody will be able to take it away from us. And, the time we bought our house, the lady did not expect much in the way of getting money back on the house. And so we got a deal. Actually, we just about stole it from her. And the people that were putting the loan out came out, and they looked at the house. And let me tell you, it was a mess. It was a mess. And they said if it wasn't for the fact that they knew my father, they would not have granted the loan, because the house needed so much work done. Well, it wasn't, terrible work. I mean, it wasn't like we had to build up walls or anything like that. Um, Having somebody come in and like wash the walls, wash the cabinets, take putty knife to the gook that was in the shower because they hadn't cleaned the walls or the ceiling. It was just, oh, it was unbelievable. And so on a weekend, on your first house, my family comes over and they clean and paint and they do anything you want done. And my father doesn't like to paint. So he did doorknobs, and I mean, every doorknob in the entire house had to be replaced. All the handles on the kitchen cabinets had to be replaced. And they painted the entire house, 3 stories, basement, first floor, second floor. Everything was painted. Everything was spick and span polished. And we moved in. Well, Bruce moved in after that. I moved in after we got married. And we've been here ever since because we love our property. We like the backyard. Okay, well, I think we will start now on what this was about. Do you need a budget? Everybody needs a budget. And sometimes it's hard to get started on a budget. And the way we got started was we started with envelopes. And they were attached by a spiral thing at the top of the envelopes. And they were in a book. And so we used these envelopes. And we would write on here house payment and the amount. Next envelope, car payment and the amount. Next envelope, insurance for car, insurance for the house. Next envelope, electric bill, gas and electric, and then telephone. Well, back then you didn't have cell phones. We just had telephones. Another envelope, doctor bills. Another envelope, gas for the cars. We just had an envelope for everything. And then we wrote down on this envelope how much we had to put in there. Now, whatever your paycheck was, whether you got paid monthly, twice a month, every 2 weeks, or if you got paid weekly, that's what you needed to do. And you divided it up by how you got paid. So if you got paid every week, you divided that paycheck and you said, okay, every week I need to put in 4 times, the amount, figure out how much 4 times the amount is, and then every week you divide that by, well, actually 4.33, because that's how many weeks there is in a year, and you divide the amount of money you put in by that number. So if you were needed to pay $400 a month, you would put in about 110 every week. And that's the way we kept it. And it worked for us. Probably not that easy for other people. Yeah, you got wrenched. I'm on it. I just, because I just thought you might like that. But I can take it away if you don't want it. And that's fine. No problem. Now, one way you can do it is still use these envelopes. And then I bought this at the Dollar Tree. And it's this little thing here. And it's got dividers on the inside. And of course, it's $1. And you can put your envelopes in there. Now, when we got paid, we'd go to the bank and we'd get our cash. And we'd bring it home. Now, we made sure we had 20s and 10s and 5s and dollar bills. And we'd put them in this folder thing. And then at the end of the month, when it was time to pay our bills, we took the money out, put it into the bank, wrote out the checks, and we paid our bills. Now, one important thing you have to do is make sure you don't overspend. I think that's pretty obvious, although we seem to have people in the neighborhood. Hi, Elf Lord. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. We seem to have people in our neighborhoods, and I'm not going to say any more than that, who overspend their money. And you can't do that. Not if you want to stay above sinking. You also need to put in money for entertainment. I mean, you have to have some kind of entertainment, whether it's going out to eat, going to a show, renting a movie, whatever it is you want to do. But you need to have entertainment or you'll never stick to this budget. But you can't overspend your entertainment. Whatever amount of money you get weekly, semi-weekly, or semi-monthly, every 2 weeks, however you get paid, you can't spend any more than that. You also have to put money aside. This is the envelope system. You have to put money aside for emergencies. We all have emergencies, whether it's medical or if it is cars break down. That happens a lot. Well, at least it did for us when we had old cars. They broke down a lot. And my husband is not a mechanic. He can do woodwork, as this cabinet behind me testifies to. But this envelope system, now this one is got file folders in here, for your envelopes. But you would just take your envelopes, write on them what it's for, the amount, and then each payday you would put in the proper amount. And if you can put in even an amount for your vacations, nothing wrong with that. But if you can't make your budget work, I'm sorry, you can't go on vacation, or you're going to have to do something different. I mean, you may have to get another job. If you can't make your budget work, you're going to have to cut back, or you're going to have to get another job. And it's a sad thing to know that you're going to have to get another job in order to make things work. One of the things we did, and this sounds kind of silly, but when my husband was out of work, we went places that we knew there were cans that people just threw on the ground, threw out the window. And we'd bring a bag and gloves and we'd pick up those aluminum cans. Now, you didn't make a ton of money, but about every weekend we would make about $15 just picking up pop cans. We would smash them, put them in the bag, and go to another spot. There are places we know and that have cans, and it's not a hard job to do. I mean, you can get it done really fast, particularly if there's two of you working on it. And I think the most we've made is about $35 in a week. And that $35 made a big difference to us on what we were going to be able to do. Now, another thing you can do is I bought this also at the Dollar Tree. You know, I love the Dollar Tree. And things are there that can help you. And this is just a book with lined pages. And you can write on them, figure out your budget, write it down in here. And then you can choose to just use this type of thing or this thing with your envelopes marked on it. But you would have this one here as your main thing. And what you could do is keep a running total, you know, on house payment. Each house payment you made, or each amount of money that you put into your system, and then take out the house payment that you made and just keep running track of it. Every time you look at this, it reminds you of what you're doing. Do you want early retirement? Then you've got to save more money. And the longer you save your money, the less amount of money you need to put in your envelopes. If you wait until you're 60 and you want to retire at 65, you're going to have to put a lot of money in those envelopes each week in order to have a backup for you. Because at least I haven't found any money trees. I don't know about anybody else, but you know, there's none in my neighborhood. You're tightening your belt, I'm on it, and trying to spend less. That helps. Well, when you're doing a budget and you really are serious about staying on that budget, hi, Tina Bean, nice to see you. You have to make up your mind what's more important to you. Using your credit cards, going into debt, which is, I don't know, 21%. Who wants to pay 21%? That's just crazy. Wait until you have the money to buy it and then pay cash. But if you're having problems on a budget, you don't need a credit card because you are going to go crazy on a credit card because, oh, well, this is on sale. Yeah, it is. But when you don't pay it off on the credit card, it's no longer a good deal. And for us, our desire was to save our money so that we could have a nice retirement. And I didn't want to eat cat food for my retirement meals. That just didn't turn me on. Another way we make our budget is that if something is on sale at the store, I'm going to give you an example. This is something we ran into, never have run into it again. But the 3-pound tube of hamburger, which goes for $10, they had them on sale for $3 a tube. And so I think we bought 10 or 20 tubes. We bought a lot because we figured to have that extra food in the house, and we saved 2/3 of the cost. That was a good deal. And so we bought that meat and put it in our freezer. And then we made, I think that weekend we made like 30 pounds of chili. Yeah, credit cards are a disaster. Our daughter, when she got 18, somehow, unbeknownst to us, but they consider them adults then, she got a credit card and didn't realize that at the end of the month, you have to pay for it. And yeah, she got into big trouble. Took a while to get her out of that trouble, but eventually she learned. I thought I'd kill her before she learned, but she did. When you get extra money, let's say you get a bonus, put that in your savings. Don't go out and spend it. For years, I had one of those silly, I don't know what they flip cell phones. And the one time I left it in the car and I said, oh no, I left it in the car. I got to go back and get it because somebody might break in to steal it. And my daughter and grandkids all laughed and they said, Mama, don't worry about it. Nobody is going to even look at that cell phone. Nobody wants those. So, but I mean, I was perfectly happy with it. Well, I didn't even want a cell phone for a while. And my daughter said, I don't want you out on the road without some way of getting help. And sure enough, we were 3 hours from home when we broke down and had to call a tow truck. Yeah, save, save, save. Always save. Pay off those debts and save. And it's like now we have a wonderful retirement. That's my daughter. I'll have to call her back. And we've always been very, I don't even want to say thrifty because I think we were more on the miserly side of things. But that's all we needed. That's all we wanted. We were happy with our life. I mean, we could go out and eat. Could we go to $20, $25 a meal places? No, we didn't. We didn't want to. That's not what we wanted to do. It was important to us to have a nice retirement and to be able to go on vacations. And how we went on vacations was we camped. In the beginning, we camped in tents. Then we got the Volkswagen camper, and we camped in that for 30 years until it died a sad death. But we had money to buy something else, and we did. But if you don't take care of your bills and your spending, you will never get out of the hole. And it is even preferable if you're married, if you can live on one check. Excuse me just a moment. She's not going to let me alone. She doesn't know that I do this on Thursday or Wednesdays. Sorry. And the other thing is, you can go and look around at thrift stores. You might luck out and find something that you want at a thrift store a whole lot less than you would pay for it in a store. We go to garage sales. We go to church sales. We go to thrift stores. We go to places so that I can have something that I consider a luxury item, like something for the yard, but I'm not spending lots of money on them. And that's the way we've lived always. I mean, for me, now that I'm retired, I don't really need new clothes. I need, you know, pants. I need going to church clothes, but I don't need many of those. And I need clothes to work out in the yard because that's what we do. We work out in the yard. Exactly the thrill of the hunt. I'm on it. That makes it so much fun. And you can find brand new clothes at thrift stores, but you just got to be consistent in looking. Yes, Elf Lord, definitely. Camo, you need me to adopt you. I don't know. You may not be too happy with me as a mother. And I'm very much a child of the Depression parents. My mother and father said that they lived through the Depression. My father had it a little bit easier than my mother because he lived on a farm. It wasn't a big farm, probably 5 acres. And they grew, they had apple orchard. They grew their food. All their food came from their farm. And they grew pigs. And that was their meat. They had mostly pork because they didn't have the land for cattle. And that's the way he was brought up. And my mother in her family during the Depression, nobody had jobs. They would do odds and ends things like when the coal man would come, they would shovel coal into the basement and they got paid maybe 10 cents for that. And that was the only money that they made. I mean, it took the whole family to work at doing silly things so that everyone could survive. Thanks, Chamo. I appreciate that. Yes, it does become a game. How can I save money and get things free or cheap? One of the things we do now is on our credit card, and we pay all our credit cards off at the end of the month. Absolutely every penny of it. But one credit card we have, which is a BP credit card, we get points for gasoline. So we go on our trips to Florida and we do not pay for our gas. As long as we buy it at BP, we have accumulated enough points that our gas is free. So it kind of helps on that trip. You know, I think last year we went down to Florida and it cost us $6. When we came back, it cost a little bit more than that. I think we spent like 12, but we had enough points on our credit card to, I'm going to have to take this. I'm sorry. Daughter is very happy. She found a garden cat at a cheap price at Big Lots. I think some of my message must have gotten through to her at some point to look around and buy things for her place. But you don't have to buy them at, you know, I don't know, because I don't go into any expensive places. I always go to, you know, Big Lots or sometimes Walmart when they're having a sale, and definitely go to the thrift stores. You know, if I'm looking for something particular, I go to the thrift stores. If I find it, fine. If I don't find it, oh well, there's another day and another trip out, which is quite often very nice. Also, to save money, you may want to consider coupons. My daughter is the coupon queen. She goes out and, especially the grocery store, she gets coupons and she only buys what she's got coupons for unless it's something she really has to have. And I mean, she does much better at couponing than I do. I do not like doing coupons. Bruce does the coupons. I don't like doing that. I don't know. Anybody here like doing coupons? Ooh, we're getting storms. The only coupons I use are some of them for food. One of the problems I have though is that I tend to want to, if I got a coupon, I want to buy something with my coupon. You know, look, I'm going to be saving this much. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really need that item. So that's not working very well. Oh, yeah, they do suck, Chamo. Much better here. And our prices are much better here. Yeah, we go up to Canada at least once a year. So we're very aware of costs up there. And the cost for clothing and stuff is ridiculous. We had a place I'm on it close to us, which was called Katie's Closet. And she would get secondhand children's clothing in. She didn't buy them, they were on consignment. So you could take clothes in there on consignment and then she'd, try to sell them for you. And then she would give you the money and you could walk off and leave, or you could shop and buy the bigger size for your child. I don't know how much money we saved there. I mean, I was in there all the time. I worked 2 days, or no, I worked 3 days a week. So I was in there at least once a week, and sometimes once during the week and once on the weekend to see what they brought in that I might be able to use for our daughter. Oh, thanks, Chamo. I appreciate that. Well, I'm on it. I think you can save money, but like my daughter spends hours, and she's got this big notebook that she puts her coupons in. I'd rather do this kind of thing, you know. This works the best for me. But I think we all need to do our budgets, do our coupons. Wow, 50% for you and 50% for the government. Wow. And what we need to also do is go through our houses and get rid of stuff that we bought because it was on sale and a good price, and have a garage sale ourselves and sell the stuff. Yeah, I get you, Elford. Yeah, that is a pain in the butt. I don't like couponing at all. I will not do that. We get sent coupons through the mail, and that's what we use. I don't want to be cutting them out. But yeah, my daughter spends hours at her dining room table with her big notebook, and she's clipping coupons and getting out the ones that need to be used next, and ones that have expired, and um that just makes me sick. No, it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's a so I will buy sale stuff. I will look at the what's on sale at the stores. But now that we're retired, we do a lot more cooking at home, which can save you money. Rather than going out to eat. Now, do we go out to eat? Of course. You know, that's on our schedule here to go out to eat. But we do not go out to eat and overeat at some place like Chinese restaurants. I mean, we just went out to eat today. We went to Lowe's because we go there either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday during the week in the summer, because they have a rack in the back that's dollar plants. So we will buy dollar plants, and we get lovely plants, perennials, annuals, but they're greatly reduced from the price that they're charging for the little better looking ones, you know. Well, ours kind of, the flowers are now dead. Don't care. I'm going to put the plant in and I'll have it next year. And it's worth me saving that amount of money. So I think we spent $47. And by the time we got everything reduced down, and Bruce has his veterans card at Lowe's, and we get another 10% off, including off of reduced items, our bill came to $10. Now that was a nice deduction for plants at such a cheap price. And they were nice ones. I mean, he got some lilies and yeah, I can't think of the name of them, but they're flowers that bloom in the spring and they cascade over walls and they're just gorgeous. He got 2 bunches of those. And we got some marigolds. And then we went out to eat, and we went to our favorite Chinese place. And they have soup or egg roll. And Bruce got sweet and sour chicken and fried rice. And I got lo mein and fried rice. And they're huge portions. I mean, we brought food home, which is why we like to go there. And it was $5.50 a piece. That was our splurge for the week. Yeah, Venezuela's got, well, they've been having problems. And it's one of those cases when the government goes on spending sprees and has no money to back it up, you got problems. And if the government goes down, the country's going down, which means you're not going to have jobs. And that's why, I mean, I feel sorry, but I actually get a little bit more angry than sorry on some of the people on YouTube that expect us to pay their way. We have a hard enough time paying our own way. And that's why they need to work. And for some of them, they don't even need to work full time. They could work part time and be very comfy. Chemo, I am going to be stopping about 8 o'clock because I know Survivor is coming on and a lot of you want to watch Survivor. Hi, Stellar. I finally got this hangout to work over here. I have been trying every day and I just couldn't get it working. But welcome. Welcome to everybody. You know, you're all important. And I appreciate you all coming. And this is kind of a boring subject. You know, who wants to think about a budget? I mean, you know, that should be a 4-letter word almost. And Yeah, don't let it happen again. But it's okay. You you can't expect the internet to support you for the rest of your life. And at some point, you are going to have to support yourself. I mean, I can see if somebody has cancer or their house burnt down or some emergency happened that we could get together and give you some money. But as far as you thinking we should dole it out to you daily, as far as I'm concerned, it's not going to happen with me. I'm sorry. That's just it. It's not in my budget. My budget includes what I give to church. And with numbers of people giving money, they have money and they know those people that need the help the most. And they do help. And that is where my donations go to help the poor. The other thing some of you may not have ever thought of, and Bruce and I do it periodically because of the weather, we have to go into motel rooms rather than camp. But we try, don't always succeed, but we try to get inexpensive rooms. And they always have sample bottles out. In Hawaii, this was one of the sample bottles that we got. And this was lotion. And they had all kinds of stuff. Hand cream, shampoo. I'm looking around here, see if I got something else. No. Oh, yes, I do. Here it is. Here, body lotion. Now, I have super sensitive skin, and I quite often cannot use any of this. I have to have special lotions. And so, what I do, because I can't use these, but I take them because that's part of your cost of your room. And I take them and I bring them home and I give them to my church. And they send them to a church downtown. And these are supplies that they give to these people to take home and use them. So they don't have to buy shampoo and toothpaste and, everything else. And so we donate them and they're happy to get them and the people are happy to get them. The other thing we do is we donate to them our used glasses. And they have ophthalmologists that will read your lenses. And then they try to match them up with people who need that particular type lens. Or they just use the glasses and put new lenses in them. How many pairs of glasses do you need sitting around your house that are old? You can donate those to people. That's kind of getting away from the budget, but in a way, you're helping somebody else's budget. And that's a good thing too. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I want, if I can't use something, I will take things to Goodwill or wherever and donate them. And they'll say, "Do you want a receipt?" And I say, "No, I don't want a receipt. I don't want a receipt because I want this to be a gift, fully a gift. I don't expect anything back on it. I want to help people." Maybe I'm being stupid. I don't know, but that's just the way I feel. I think if you can help people out. Okay, McTechman, I appreciate you stopping by. Janie D, thank you for stopping by. This is the channel that these will be on from now on, now that I got this started and got it figured out. Yeah, I had 2 little blocks marked that were wrong, and that's why I couldn't get this working. So now it's working. But, I feel that it's important for me to save money, but it's also important for me to give things to others who are having more financial difficulties than me. Normally people will come to me and they'll say, "Well, do you have this or that?" And particularly people at church. And we've got some really poor ones there. And I'll say, "Yeah, let me get it together and I'll bring it to you." Because I always have extra of stuff. And then sometimes when we've had storms and they've lost their heat, they were trying to put them up at church, but they didn't have beds or anything. And I said, "Well, why didn't you guys call me? I have a camping equipment. I can supply beds for about 6 people." I think we all need to help out, but sometimes we can't help out financially. We get back to this budget thing. We can't help financially with money, but maybe we can help with items. I'm sure we all got more pots and pans than we need to use, or that we will ever use, and we're just keeping them because, well, we're pack rats. Well, I'm a pack rat. I don't know about the rest of you, but yeah, I'm a pack rat. Pack rat. There we go. And I'm really happy when I'm able to donate something to somebody that they need and they can use. I mean, when my mom and dad died, they had a lot of things for handicapped people. And we have a lot of handicapped people at our church. And so I donated. They would tell me, "Do you have one of these?" "Yes, I will bring it. Bring it next Sunday for you." "Do you have this?" "I need a toilet seat that sits up higher." "Yep, I've got that. I'll give it to you." My mom and dad, they had my grandmother and she had this stuff. And then my mom and dad had that stuff and they bought more stuff. And some of the stuff I'm keeping because, well, I've had to use it too when I've been injured and things like that. But that's what I like to do. I like to help out. Oh, and another thing I wanted to tell you all off subject, was that they did find out why I was so sick. Finally, all the results are back. And apparently, I had a virus that attacked my liver. Why it chose there, we don't know, but that's what happened and sent all my liver numbers haywire, and I felt horrible. And part of the thing was is I have no immune system. So what would have been a short-term thing became a major thing. And so she says, we don't know why this happened. Can't tell you that it won't happen again, but we'll know where to start looking if it happens again. So I am feeling a whole lot better. I'm still very tired, but I think that's more a case of I'm not sleeping good at night. Got a man next to me that snores and has restless leg. And so consequently, he has restless wife. And so I'm sometimes up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I hope I never get that again. I'm on it. I really thought the last time I felt that bad was when I had pancreatitis. And the only difference is I didn't have pain this time. But I felt just as rotten. And they said they don't anticipate any reason why I will ever get it again, but if I get another infection, I probably yeah, restless wife system is bad. Because you get ready, I'm gonna kill him someday. Fortunately, and it's worse. Let me tell you, it's 100% worse when we go camping because there's no place for me to get up to and get away. We're in a square box. At least in a home, I can walk in another room and get away from it. But we've all had, that's part of the fun of being married. Yeah, right. But I can't even, when we're camping, you know, I can't get out and walk around. I mean, who knows what kind of animals out there, 4 foot, 2 foot, and knowing my luck, I would get lost if I go walking around the campground. Been there and done that. So I hope you all know that I can't make a budget for you. You need to make your own budget up, choosing whatever method works best for you. This one, just writing it down and putting the money in the bank. The important thing is that you do something. Oh, Elf Lord, I bet you your wife was so pleased to be folding up plastic bags. I can just see her now. Who the heck are you watching? That we are folding up plastic bags. But were you surprised on how much room you could save by just doing that one little thing? And that's even in your house. You only had the right time to wash the right side of your body. Oh, well, make sure that we are upwind from you. Oh, was she? Well, that's nice. Did she like the idea? I know it's a stupid thing, but we all get these plastic bags But there are places you can't get plastic bags at. So when you're traveling, it's nice to have that and do that and bring it along with you. Oh, the left side you're going to wash tomorrow, Chamo. Ooh. Huh. Okay. So then I only need a clothespin for one side of my nose. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, they are a mess. And then after you fold them up, you think, man, this was easy and it's so nice and straightened out and easy to grab them out. Now, the thing that I have is one of those, I don't know what they call them, but they're bags to put they're a bag that you can put your bags in. Well, I put these little, as Paula calls them, footballs in there. And then I can just grab them out the bottom, and it's so easy. And you only get one at a time. Well, Janie D, yeah, I'm sure he does. And you know what? That's his problem. Yeah, I know. Isn't that awful, Janie? And Tina, yeah, I really, though, it doesn't take me very long to fold up the bags, particularly like I stand at my sink and that flat surface helps me fold up the bags faster. And I've gotten to be a pro at it, but clipping the coupons, yeah, you've got to go through a whole bunch of coupons and look at them and look at the expiration date. And then you got to go back and look at your coupons and look at their expiration dates. And that to me is just not fun at all. But I guess maybe I should do it because that's saving money. I mean, Bruce does it. I signed that to him. Poor Bruce. He gets all the jobs I don't want to do. Well, not all of them, most of them. Mainly because I do the jobs he doesn't want to do. So, next week, if you all, well, do you all want to stay in here and talk and we'll just talk? I mean, that's fine with me. Or if you want to get on your way, I can end it. Doesn't matter. I'm footloose and fancy free. Bye, Elf Lord. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. But next week, we're going to talk about sticks and bricks. No, Stellar, I cannot feel the bottom of my feet. And I do not want to do a chooch because you're going to be seeing pavement up close and personal because I know I will fall. So that is not my thing. And the other thing is, I think you have to be kind of a funny person. And I think Rosie's got that beat all the heck and back. I mean, she is funny. I'm very good at one-liners, but I'm not good at being a comedian. So no, I really don't want to do a chooch. And the only place that I could do a chooch that would be relatively easy for me might be out at a campground, and that can be iffy. But I think that would be very interesting to walk around in a campground and show you the different types of camping equipment that are in use. I mean, that would be the thing that I would enjoy. Going to the hood, no, that would be absolutely no. I would like the camping thing. Problem is, I'm not real sure that I would get internet streaming to do that. And I have a phone that will do that, I think. But I just learned this, let's not tax my brain any more than we need to, or I'll forget how to do this. Going back to work, Chamo, is always good. And actually, what makes going to work good is the money you get paid. I don't know about anybody else, but I always love payday. Thanks, Chamo. I appreciate that. And boy, you are laying it on thick. But it's still appreciated. I mean, I know I'm old. I've been told that. And I know that. And but I know a whole lot about camping. Maybe not a whole lot about different vehicles that you use camping, although I've seen a lot of them. And the thing that we use is the pros and cons on everything we do. And so I thought we would talk next week about sticks and bricks, which translates to houses or RV vans, whatever. You know, they all have their pros and they all have their cons. Well, I try Stellar. I mean, I learn from people too. I think I could birth a goat now. I've been watching so many goat videos trying to stay out of the war zone. And, you know, have I ever had a class B? Well, I don't know. Is a Volkswagen considered a class B? I don't know what you consider it. But we all know that there's a lot we can learn. And besides the fact of just having fun coming in and talking to each other, and that's a good thing, at least in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I like to talk. Are you just finding that out? And there's probably not much you can get into that I haven't seen, haven't experienced, or haven't watched somebody else going through it. And we all know that. And we all, we all can learn from each other. And we all have similar likes. And we can build on those likes for true friendship. And maybe we won't be FIAs. Maybe we will actually be friends. So I'm going to shut down, and I'm going to wish you all a nice week. And I will having it on this channel rather than my Adams Van Adventures channel. I just want this channel to be my channel for live chats. And I think from now on, you're all going to know where to come for the live chats because it's going to be here. So I want to thank you all, each and every one of you, for coming. And maybe we might have more people next week when they learn that I finally got this stupid hangout to work. I about pulled my hair out, let me tell you. I didn't know what to do. And, finally I thought, well, go back to the beginning. That's where a good place to start. Go back to the beginning. And when I did that, I found the mistake. So I'm going to say goodnight to you all. I thoroughly appreciate you all coming. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you and good night.